Hello, everybody. We are getting all the brokers on right now. We have broker Marlo, we have broker associate of Mentor Edge, Jessica Loy, and myself, Jillian Young, here to talk about a couple of things. Hey, Emily. So how this is going to work is we're on Zoom right now, but we're live on our Facebook group, and I'm moderating comments. So if you have questions, please put them on the Facebook comments. I will be the one asking on your behalf. So Eric should be joining us in a moment. Jump on Zoom, bro. Okay. What we're going to go over are the COVID-19 addendums. We're going to go over a rollout of some reduced transaction fees for those smaller deals of less than 40,000, and just remind you of our check processing process in the coming days. So, hey, Ashley, thank you for hopping on. All right. So we have got broker Marlo here. Marlo, can you see and hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Marlo, is share the COVID-19. First, I'll share the extension, or if unless there's something else I can share.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to share. Stand by. Okay. All right, so we've got the COVID-19 extension addendum to contract. So Marlo, take it away.
Okay, so wonderful thing that the Florida Realtors have done is to provide an addendum for an extension. So these are for contracts that are going forward and they need to extend certain dates. So if you just read the addendum, this is a FAR form. So we would prefer you to use it for FAR bar contracts. I believe NABOR is putting out an addendum of their own that should be available soon. But basically this is just giving you an extension for those closing dates, financing periods, inspection periods, title cure periods, feasibility studies. All of those are there for you. Also recommended highly in this time that we make sure we're telling our buyers and our sellers to obtain attorney advice. This is just an addendum. You can easily read it and tell exactly what it is stating, that it is going to extend those due to the COVID-19 pandemic that causes unprecedented impacts to real estate transactions, including but not limited to all those different areas. We also have two other addendums that we had, the WWM&R were so gracious to provide for us. So we'll want to go to that next addendum. It doesn't matter if it's FAR/BAR or NABOR. This one is for the one that you saw just before is an extension to an already existing contract FAR/BAR. This one here is whether you're writing a new contract using this as part of that contract. This verbiage is for your NABOR addendum sales contract. However, if the parties agree to a contract that's already in place right now, they can use this addendum because it just basically stops the transaction until this COVID-19 virus has been removed. And it also provides anything that goes beyond 30 days of the closing, either party can terminate. They can decide what they want to do. We don't want to advise our customers on these addendums. We want to make sure that they're getting the advice from their attorneys. What we can do is read this addendum to them and make sure that they understand what they're signing. This is the NABOR one, and now if my wonderful Vanna White would go to the next one. This is your FAR/BAR. Again, this is not an extension. This is just an agreement that they're going to put everything on hold until we get through this COVID-19. If things pass the 30-day close, then either party can terminate at that point in time. So strongly recommend that they get an attorney to review these with them to get them to understand what they're signing when they're signing that. Any questions?
Right now, I don't have any questions from Facebook. So while I wait for questions to come in, what I'm going to do is share my screen to show everyone where they can find this information on the intranet. So excuse me while I do that. Intranet, let's see here.
I do believe they also received an alert from app files. This COVID-19 form is available in the app files, but I do want to make sure that I stress it is a FARBAR form and should be used with FARBAR contracts.
Right, okay, great. So again, anybody have questions on Facebook? This is your mypremierplus.com dashboard. This is where really important announcements go. This is where all your forms live. We have the forms linked right here on the front page. If you need to find them after we've, let's say we've done a couple of updates and it gets a little buried, and you need to find them later, you can go to the menu to Agent Tools. You can go to Download Forms, and they are right here in alphabetical order, COVID-19, Addendum. There's 3 of them there. So that is where you find them. We'll also send you an email, link them on our Facebook page, and all of that. So I'm going to stop sharing here.
And one more time, just in case anybody logged on late, NABOR is providing an addendum. It's just not out yet.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys hear that? I have a feeling I'm missing some questions here. So let me just triple check because my internet is being pushed to the max.
Yeah, I had to run in and get chargers, extensions.
Yeah.
I had 27% left.
Yeah. Well, good. Okay. So
10 o'clock.
Let's see if Eric is having any trouble. Hey, Eric. Hey, Eric. We are live. Yes. That email I sent you that said live broker update. That's where you click to join, and I'll make you a panelist. We can talk about the reduced transaction fees. Nope. Okay. All right. See you in a minute. Bye. Where did it say 2 o'clock? I don't know. Guys, we're figuring this out.
Is that Central Time?
That's our coffee. That's our coffee thing.
I know, but that's for like next week, I think. So, yeah. Hey guys, we're gonna start a coffee with the brokers in a little bit. So next week. Participants. Okay, well, we're just waiting on Eric. So what he's going to talk about is a plan to reduce fees starting immediately for those deals that are less than 40,000. Would you? Hey, Katie. Hi. Oh, we miss you too, Katie. Would Marlo, while I get Eric set up on here, would you like to introduce that topic for everybody?
It's just been a real concern for ours, especially for people in the Cape Coral and Lee County area that are selling properties that are $4,000 and $5,000, and their broker fees, it's just not calculated in. And so we wanted to move forward with helping our agents out to make sure that there's more money in their pocket than they're putting out of their pocket. So we came up with, it took a while, it took a lot of crafting to get it to work with our accounting department, to work with our app files, to work with the whole staff. So we've really put some time, some effort and love into this to be able to share back to our agents. And that's what's most important. We understand that it's, it's $1,000, $2,000 commission, and then you're giving $350 to Premier Plus. And it just doesn't seem feasible because you're just trying to retain a customer that is going to be buying a home somewhere else. So this is our extension to you to let you know we understand, we heard the cries, and we want to work this out with you. So anything that's $40,000 or less, we have just a simple mathematical way of making sure you're not paying more than the $350, depending on how much commission you received. So anything, I believe we have a little.
Yes, I can go ahead and share that now here. I'm going to share. There you go.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see that it's 30%, but not to exceed the $350. So there's your examples below where the 30% cuts off. It just would not exceed, the 350. But if you look at the bottom, you have a sale price of $6,000. $180 is what you get out of 3%, and your fee is at 30%, 54. That's where the savings come in at that point in time. So I don't see the whole screen. I know there's more down at the bottom of that, but basically, in a nutshell, you can see that it's not hard math, but it did take a long time for us to get to this number and to this point. Just the most important thing is it's not 30% on every single transaction. If the fees are more than $350, it stops at $350. If the fees are, like you see down at the bottom, the 30% at, I think, $90 of your commission, $55 is all you're paying is the errors and omissions. So I know Eric wants to talk about this, so I'm hoping we can get him on.
No, he was seeing the March 26th webinar there, so I think we're still working out the kinks in all of this.
So as we're looking at that document, does anybody have any questions? Is it self-explanatory? I know I have the top of the line agents on this Facebook post. Not everybody's out there, so we're going to be answering a lot of questions.
Hey, and you guys invite our agents who are not on this. Oh, Eric's on. Okay, good. Yay. Let me make him a panelist. So all right, Eric, I am promoting you to a panelist.
Yay.
And so you're going to rejoin as a panelist. There he is.
Our fearless leader. Yay!
There he is. Yay! Let's unmute Eric here. Trying to unmute him myself.
There he goes.
There we go. Got it.
Good.
Good. We can hear you. Great.
All right. Sorry about that. There's a 2 o'clock broker interview. I was on the wrong one.
That was on for that's for March 26th.
Gotcha. Okay. Too many. All these Zoom meetings popping in.
I know. Sorry, guys.
That's good. It's good. There's lots of activity, lots of business going on right now, so that's a good thing. Now, how far did you guys get on the reduced fee for the agents right now?
Take it away.
Okay.
I do want to say that Jay Stark says that we are better looking on his screen than the update with the president. So thank you, Jay.
That's good. That's good. We are going no tie. So that works. We appreciate that, Jay. Well, welcome everybody, and thank you for jumping online. We're excited to introduce new technology, and truly believe this will make us better individuals and a better company, and be able to relate information faster to you guys. And so it looks like we have the new reduced fee structure up. Again, like I said, I don't know how far you guys were on this. This does affect everybody inside the company, Premier Plus Realty. We received a lot of requests in regards to smaller transactions and our fees on how they weren't very accommodating for some lower priced properties. So this is a fee structure that we wanted to introduce on $40,000 or less transactions moving forward. And the basis of it is any commission received from a sales transaction of $40,000 or less will be assessed a 30% PPR fee. And here's an example of what this looks like from a single-sided transaction. One thing I do want to note, if the buyer or seller 195 is collected, which is not required, but on a transaction of this size, but if it is collected, it's just added as additional commission, and thus the 30% would apply to the gross transaction. So that gives you an example of that. Now, if it's a double-sided transaction, then the max fee would be $545 because that is our standard fee for a double-sided transaction. Okay, so I hope that's clear to you guys out there. And feel free to ask questions. Reach out to us if you guys need further information on it. We will be addressing this in the new independent contractor agreement along with the Premier Plus policies and procedures. Accounting is aware of it. So this would be on all upcoming transactions of $40,000 or less. And I think that covers that. One thing I do want to mention is there is a minimal fee of $55 that is capped. So to give you guys an example of a $6,000 sales volume transaction at a 3%, at a 3% commission, that would be $180. Well, if you take 30% of that, that's actually $54, and we would cap it at $55 to PPR. So there would be no less than $55.
So Yasmin, I'm going to say her name, AWAD.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. She says,
Yeah.
If you could go and explain the 30% fee. And yes, Yasmin, this is new. This is a new reduced transaction fee for deals less than 40,000. So
Correct.
yes, it's new.
Right.
If you could go back and explain that 30% fee.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sorry if I went a little fast on that, Yaz. So what we are looking at here is with the amount of transactions that are happening in Lehigh, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, even in Naples and Collier County, there's a lot of lot transactions that are happening. Most of the transactions that you are going to see $40,000 and less are going to be lot listings or lot purchase transactions. And when we see these transactions come in, there was a lot of requests of how do we reduce our fees and how do we accommodate these type of valued listings and co-broke commissions. So this structure is built out to have a 30% PPR fee, a total 30% PPR fee of the agent's commission. So if you look at the top line, Yaz, it's $40,000 sales price, a 3% commission, whether you're representing the listing side or the co-broke side, would be $1,200. Well, 30% of $1,200 is $360. So we cap it at $350. And so on. If you go down to a $30,000 transaction, 3% would be $900. 30% is $270. I apologize for that. My son has a bird in the background, so we will move the birds next time we do this, or I will move my location. But it adds nature, so you guys get a little bit of nature going on here. So
my picture and your bird. Listen to your birds.
All right. I cannot see the comments, so I don't know if that was made clear to Yaz.
Yeah, she hasn't commented back yet,
okay.
But I just want to reiterate that the purpose behind this is to alleviate the transaction fee burden for those deals that are less than 40,000. So we are not making much on this deal, but it is a help to you.
Right.
It is to help you guys out, especially during these times as you're, you have deals that are that amount or less.
And if I can say, we had definitely had over 200. I don't know the exact number. I know we had over 200 transactions that were over 40,000 or more last year in 2019. So this will affect a lot of transaction for individuals. We are accepting reduced fee, which allows you, the agent, to keep more in your pocket on these smaller transactions. It also opens up an opportunity for you guys to list more lots and work with customers that are doing these size transactions.
Awesome. So we have a couple of new viewers, and I just wanted to reiterate that we're recording this, and Marlo introduced the new COVID-19 addendums, and she also said that NABOR There's word that they are going to be releasing their own addendum. Correct me if I'm not saying that correctly. Those are on the intranet, on the dashboard. So if you want to, once we're done here, once I post the recording, you can go back and listen to her explain that. Jessica is our Mentor Edge broker associate. So we may have some Mentor Edge agents on here. So now's the time to think of a question to ask her. You got to have her full attention. So while we wait for that, Eric and or Marlo, if you can go over the check processing, the operations.
You want me to do that, Eric?
Sure, go ahead, Marlo.
So at this point in time, we've obviously closed our offices because we want to protect you and we want to protect the agents as well, or the staff as well. And so the office that does have a box out front that you can drop your checks off is the Vanderbilt office. We would prefer that you start off with a paid at closing. So if you have any closings coming in, please reach out to or go to our My Premier Plus site, find the Get Paid at Closing, and file that way. There's also the way to get paid at closing or to have it wired. So we are waiving those wire fees so that you can get your money faster and get it in a wire. And then we are also allowing you to go to that Vanderbilt office and drop that into that lockbox. There will be one staff member there to receive that, to make sure that, you know, the checks aren't getting stolen. And then we will also, you know, you can have it mailed to the Fontana Dolcel Way address. Please have them only to the Fontana Dolcel Way address, to the Vanderbilt office, not to the downtown, not to the Marco, Cape Coral, or Summerlin. Just make sure that they all have that 8955 Fontana del Sol Way address on it. And if I missed anything, Eric, pick it up. You must be muted because the birds are chirping.
No, the lawnmowers are going by.
Oh,
so
okay.
This is real live. You guys wouldn't be able to hear me. Yeah, they're still mowing lawn. We have birds and lawnmowers. I think that is absolutely correct, Marlo. You nailed it. Our number one preference is to get paid at closing. That is the most efficient because that will allow the title agents to put a check in your hand right at closing. Now that is going to be dependent, obviously, on the banking industry and how accessible the funding is going to be, or how accessible the banks are going to be for you guys to deposit your checks. If you can deposit checks remotely via photo online, that's even better. The second option, obviously, as Marlo mentioned, would be the wiring funds. But because due to fraudulent wire transfers and everything, we do request that the title agent reach out to accounting, or have accounting reach out to the title agent to conduct that, to make sure the right information is portrayed. Correct. And then,
Eric,
yeah.
I did have a question on, oh dear, now I forgot what it was.
Okay.
When you were talking about the first get paid at closing, oh, that's it. Referrals, are we not doing get paid at closings if there's referrals on there, or are we waiving that?
In the past, well, it's going to be dependent, obviously, on the mail system too. So right now, as everybody understands, we're almost on a day-to-day scenario, but as of right now, we want to follow normal procedures. We will make some exceptions. So if there's an individual that you guys are paying a referral to, and you feel it's going to be more efficient to have the referral paid out from the closing agent, I'll have to get with accounting on that. That was not discussed earlier today or yesterday, and if we're going to modify the referrals. But I think we can be accommodating, but you're going to be dealing with the same situation with the mail unless the closing agent is going to wire that referral money to that receiving broker anyway. So there's some hurdles we're going to have to jump over with that. I would suggest, as for now, if you reach out to accounting on a case-by-case basis until we make another announcement on what we're going to do with referrals, if we're going to allow those as exceptions. Or if we want those funds mailed to the Premier Plus office, and then we process in accordance with the normal procedure. Good question, though.
Sorry,
Eric, Oh yeah, you guys have gotten a lot of questions on recommendations for holding open houses and taking buyers into homes and putting buyers in your car and doing listing presentations and all of that. What advice or recommendations do you have? What is the protocol that our agents should follow?
You want me to do that one?
And Jessica also, you know, she has a lot of, you know, she hears a lot from Mentor Edge students as well. So either one.
Yeah. So the whole thing is yours, your protection. We're wanting to honor what our president of the United States said, and we're wanting to honor what the governor has said and what things are coming out. So we feel that we're doing that by distancing ourselves, and we've shut all of our offices down to protect one another. I understand sellers, I understand their desire to sell, but I think right now we need to rally together as a whole nation under God and do what we need to protect one another. We don't want to continue this going on another 15 days and all of us still be where we're at today. So our recommendation is that if at all possible, you don't do any close socialization with customers, with open houses, with anything like that. We can think outside the box and figure things out as we move forward, but there is no law, there is no rule right now to stop you from doing that. So the choice is definitely yours. Our recommendation is that you don't. Correct, Eric?
Correct. We talked on this as brokers and as a leadership team this morning on our recommendations, and we're definitely going off of the recommendations of those above us. And we recommend that you guys just kind of slow it down a little bit. Obviously, go off of the recommendations of your sellers too, and make sure if you guys are allowing individuals and showings to continue, which at this point is okay. Just make sure that everything is agreed to from the sellers, and they agree to allowing individuals in the home and how many individuals. Because keep in mind, they're touching door handles, they're coming in, they're doing everything they would in public places. We don't want to slow your business down, and we don't want to be the ones to make that call to halt normal business operations. But I would recommend any broker opens, any large open house gatherings, which has also been the recommendations of I believe, the National Association of Realtors, to slow things down a little bit, to do so and to adhere to that. We have a lot of agents who are taking everything very seriously. We are taking this very seriously, but we also have a large group of individuals who are treating this like it's a normal situation. With the normal flu virus. But we do want to reiterate that we definitely want to be careful with large gatherings, especially on the open houses, and just be wise. So again, to reiterate, any large broker opens or large massive open houses, we feel that those should be limited right now, and that is our advice for you guys.
Yeah.
We did have Dawn Downing is on, and she just shared that her closing is postponed at this point. Just wanted to see if you guys would just encourage her, because she mentioned that. And it's, she was to close next week. Now it will not happen until June.
Postpone's better than terminated.
Right.
Keep on keeping on, Dawn. Jessica, you had something you wanted to say?
I did, yeah. I wanted to go back on because with the Mentor Edge agents also have been asking. I mean, this is for the agents to think about not only your own safety, but also those owner-occupied properties currently, tenant-occupied properties, you know, are they willing to have people come through and see, you know, walk through the home, touch the door handles, you know, and open up that potential risk to the owners and the residents. So, you know, we've had a lot of agents trying to come up with new ideas, and I think this might be the opportunity for vacant properties. You know, nobody's present in them. We've got Zoom. You know, maybe set yourself up into the home for a couple of hours live for 2-3 hours and have your laptop or your iPad, maybe use that, walk around and give a virtual live tour and be available to answer questions for those that aren't able to travel south currently with the travel bans and the securities that way, and that they can still be motivated to want to ask questions about the real estate industry without hopefully, having to postpone more contracts, having to postpone more buyers wanting to, look into their next endeavor also. So we've talked a lot about that, and I think that's a great idea. Is everyone's working on their online skills, so might as well be 2 steps ahead of that before everyone's already experts at it, and we're on to figuring something else new to be different as realtors. So jump on that train and just be as open for questions and available, with the convenience of technology that we have right now.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
great.
That's great.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to jump on, I did get a text message from Matt Berheim. I don't see him on there. He just had a question about FHA. So Matt, if you are actually on Facebook Live right now, feel free to chime in and ask your question.
Sonia has a comment. Let me pull up the whole thing here. Sonia says, I showed a home on Tuesday. The owner met me there to tell me that she had Clorox wiped down all the door handles, light switches, buyers and sellers. I'm finding they're all being very, very careful.
Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. And anything you guys can do to help facilitate that. I know we're running low on products, but I did receive a message from the general manager over at Costco, and they are receiving shipments daily. So that's good news. The downside is there's a lot of people going to Costco right now. And they said the number one thing that the paper products and the paper products and disinfectants, those are the things that are flying off the shelf first. But do your best to help accommodate buyers and sellers, wipe things down, but also communicate. And I love what Jessica said. Use technology. If you guys have access to Zoom, or any type of mobile viewing. If you guys want to do online open houses, that seems to be the new norm right now. Watch what other people are doing and take advantage of it. If you don't have a Zoom account, it's very easy to set up. This is not a plug for Zoom, but it works great, obviously. Yeah. Anybody else have anything? Any questions, Jillian, that you see coming in?
No, Dawn says that if we could pray for her buyer because she was sick as well. So we will certainly do that, Dawn. So I just wanted to if we don't, I'm still monitoring questions as we wrap up. So if you have any more questions, feel free to hop on in the next minute or so.
Yeah, another thing I can mention too, because I noticed Nabor sent out an announcement yesterday regarding their, their offices and also how to get MLS help if that comes up, speaking with Nabor, the MLS department. But for those that are working with new sellers and potentially listing properties, keep in mind super lock boxes. I know Nabor made a note that sales are currently suspended until further notice. So if you're, working on a new active listing and you don't have a super lockbox, it might be difficult to get that on one if they're not selling them right now. So have to come up with a different option for the time being, like a combo lockbox code or something.
Right. Or what you can do is you can jump on the PPR message board and you can shoot a message out to see if anybody is willing to borrow or sell any lock boxes in the short term, and then you guys can coordinate pickups. So utilize the online tools in the message board. One question. Go ahead.
Yeah, did you see Katie's?
Yep.
Yep, go ahead.
Katie, thanks for jumping in. The wire transfer, if your attorney or closing agent has specific definitions around wire transfers, please email that to accounting@pprmail.com, and Roberta will get that, and she will facilitate the wire information to that closing agent. That's a great question. Some attorneys require specific forms. There will also be probably, I'm assuming, phone dialogue to confirm the account numbers for that wire account. And that's what we've seen the process being for that.
Katie follows that up with, will this be sent to them once I do get the paid at closing?
Okay, so she's talking about a paid at closing. Okay, so that was two different questions, Katie. It looks like Sorry about those. Attorney said
Well,
he
if
could
she's, I
wire.
think, getting paid at closing for her commission and then the Premier Plus fees.
Gotcha. Yeah, they can do either or. You can do both. That's a great question. That's a combination of what we have going. Katie, you can receive your commission via paid at closing, so you have the tangible check in hand. And if they want to wire the PPR 350, they can do so. Again, same process. I would contact Roberta directly at accounting@pprmail.com, or you can call the main line and they'll transfer you directly to her.
We don't have any more questions at this time, so Jessica, yeah, oh, Marlo, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate that when you do a paid at closing, make sure your app file is green. Green is good, red is bad, that you're missing paperwork. So very quickly go to your app file, check that out, make sure all your documents are there so that you're not waiting till last minute to try to get paid at closing, and we can't move forward until we get those signed documents.
Got it.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to do a round of encouragement, starting with Eric, then Jessica, and then Marlo. I'll wrap it up, and we will get on with our obsessive news watching.
Yeah, right. Well, encouraging, don't watch the news too much. Everybody, you know, as we become more and more isolated, get outside. I've heard that a lot online when you're sucked on social media and the news. Go outside, breathe the fresh air. I hear that quite a bit, and it does make a difference. Put your feet in the sand, put your feet in the grass. You're probably going to have to find some different sand right now. Most of the beaches are becoming closed. But words of encouragement, we are reviewing the pendings, the new listings, the sales contracts are coming in. There still is a lot of business going on. So that's what I want to encourage you guys with. So hang in there, be positive, and yeah, look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Jessica?
Yeah, I'm on here. Yes, and to piggyback off what Eric's saying, you know, we have to be smart in these times, but we still have business that's going on. We have transactions that are going on. So I think right now it's just been amazing to really have this time to reflect back on your business, on your customers, and reach out to them and just make sure that, you know, they have what they need at this time. You know, start building that database for once we are over this little hump, that you guys get right back into your business, to really just be that open service, that agent. We're all learning a lot at this time ourselves, but I mean, with all of this challenge comes great opportunity, and even though it's crazy out there in the world today, I'm excited to see what's going to happen, the newness that's going to come from all of this, hopefully sooner than later, of course, but it's been exciting, it's been fun, and it's different, and I think we all needed a little bit of different right now to come back to realization and reality of what we have to really focus on and put into place for our customers, for our staff, for everybody on this planet. That if the planet's not here, we're not. So we've got to do what we can, and just keep a happy face. You know, there's a lot of news out there, a lot of sadness, a lot of conversations, but I mean, we've been just around the staff ourselves have really been trying to find a little humor in our day-to-day lives just to keep us going, and I think it's been great. You know, it pulls all of us together, and that's what we need as a community, as the planet, a country, everything. We need to be together. So do what you can, and if you have questions, hey, about real estate, we're here. I can't really help you with the COVID-19, but I can certainly help with real estate.
That's great. Thanks, Jess.
Yep, so you guys are our encouragement. We really need you to reach out to us and email us, text us, give us calls. We want to continue to work on your behalf. We want to continue to be that ever-present support. David Gallus is working nonstop, and I am too, and David Kopic is working, and all of our staff is. But we want you to know that we're reachable. Even though, you know, we're home, we are still available for you. So be our encouragement by reaching out, letting us know how your business is doing. If it's going awry, then, you know, you definitely want to talk to one of the brokers, but I'm hoping that it's not. But I do understand that this is a time of uncharted waters, and this is your opportunity to think outside the box, be the leader in your community, help out where you can, because this is going to be over and people are going to see what you did to help them through this difficult time. And that's great referrals. That's a great way to open the door for somebody to sell a house or to buy a house. Don't think of this as just this very moment, because it's not. It's just a drop in the bucket. We are not done. We have a lot to do. Please keep in touch with us. Let us know how you're doing. Let us be able to pray with you, to just encourage you. Dawn, you're doing great. Just hang in there, darling. It's going to end.
That's great.
Thank you, guys. So I just want to say thank you to Jessica and to Marlo and to Eric for your time. We are so busy answering phone calls and emails, and I just want to reiterate one more time where you can find the COVID-19 addendums and where you can find information on how to get paid. You'll go on your mypremierplus.com account, and on the announcements section, we have the 3 addendums available now. That is until NABOR comes out with their own addendum. Supposedly today, we will update that. You can find our check processing operations here with the Get Paid at Closing form and a wire funds form. Our fees are being waived if you would like to wire funds. We also have the Get Paid at Closing and wire funds forms here. The wire funds forms is just to alert our accounting staff that that is how you are choosing to get paid, so that we can start the process of accepting that. But really, it's your title company and our accounting department that communicate with that. Please, if you notice that some of your Premier Plus family is not in this private Facebook group, please invite them. I make sure a few times a week that there are only active Premier Plus agents in here, so it's a safe place to talk business. So please include them. We really want to make this our main hub because it's an easy way to stream on Zoom. All right, everybody, you know, we'll be here. So maybe here a little bit less on Saturday because I need to clean my house. But otherwise, we love you guys so much. You're just such a joy to work for and to serve. And we really appreciate your strength and your encouragement and your kind words. We are here for you. We will move mountains to make sure that your business is secure. So we love you. We will see you on the Facebooks, and check your email.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Love
Love
you guys.
y'all.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.